You know that feeling when you wake up in the middle of the night for no reason? That happened to me last week. My eyes just snapped open. I looked at the clock, and it was that weird, dead time, somewhere between 2 and 3 in the morning. The house was completely silent. Not a creak, not a hum from the fridge, nothing. Just this heavy, absolute silence. And it was dark. I mean, really dark. The kind of dark where you can even see your own hand in front of your face. But even in that total blackness, I knew I wasn't alone. It started with a pressure on my chest, like a heavy weight was sitting right on me, making it hard to breathe. My heart started pounding, a frantic drumbeat against my ribs. And then this intense, undeniable feeling washed over me, the feeling of being watched. Every hair on my body stood on end. My eyes darted around the room, trying to make sense of the shadows. But one shadow didn't belong. It was darker than the rest, a void in the darkness. Right there, standing next to my bed, was a figure. It was tall-assily over 6 feet, and had a human-like shape. But that's where the similarity ended. It was a pure shadow, a silhouette cut out of the night itself. There were no clothes, no face, no features at all. Just a solid, 3-dimensional block of darkness. It didn't move. It didn't breathe. But it felt alive, and it was looking right at me. I was frozen. I tried to scream, to push myself up, to do anything. But my body wouldn't respond. It was like my mind was disconnected from my limbs. All I could do was lie there, paralyzed, my breath caught in my throat. The fear was like nothing I've ever experienced. It was a primal, gut-wrenching terror that consumed every thought. This wasn't a person. It felt ancient, malevolent. The air in the room grew cold and thick, almost heavy, and it felt like time itself had slowed down to a crawl. Seconds stretched into minutes. Even though it had no eyes, I could feel its gaze locked onto mine. It was a stare that pierced right through me, looking into my soul, and it was filled with a cold, empty hunger. It was the most terrifying moment of my entire life. And then, just as suddenly as it appeared, it was gone. It didn't fade away. It didn't walk out of the room. It just vanished in the blink of an eye. 1 second it was there, a towering presence of dread, and the next, there was nothing. The pressure on my chest lifted instantly. I could breathe again, tucking in nuke, gasping gulps of air. The room felt normal. The silence was just silence again, not a heavy, watching quiet. My heart was racing so fast I thought it was going to burst. I was drenched in a cold sweat. It took every ounce of courage I had, but I finally managed to lunge for the lamp on my nightstand. The light flooded the room, chasing away every shadow. Of course, there was nothing there. The door was closed. The windows were locked. I sat up in bed, shaking, for what felt like hours. There was no way I was going back to sleep. I left the lights on for the rest of the night. Even now, the feeling lingers. I'm scared to sleep in the dark. Some nights, I still get that unsettling feeling that I'm being watched, that something is waiting just at the edge of my vision. I keep asking myself what it was. Was it just a textbook case of sleep paralysis? A nightmare my brain cooked up in that state between sleep and wakefulness? Or was it something else? Something real that visits us in the dead of night, when we're at our most vulnerable. I don't have the answer, and honestly, I'm not sure I want to know. Thanks for listening. If you've ever experienced anything like this, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories. Sleep tight. Leap tight.